right, here we go. So if you haven't seen the bow build video on the 2022 Omen, please go check that out. You'll see kind of how I set everything up and all the specs. The only thing I've done since then, which I said I would do, is two things. I've added A3 strings, which are made of the Bloodline fibers, which they are fantastic. So please go check those guys out. Brent and that crew do an excellent job. I even noticed a performance pickup in terms of speed, which I'll talk about in a second. The only other thing I've done is added the Hamskea Epsilon. So I have the attachment just to attach it pretty easy. So everything is set up and ready to go. How did it shoot? So this is really what I'm going to talk about, is speed, accuracy, how did it feel, how did it hold. Talk a little bit about build quality, tunability, noise, and then who it might be for. So first off, speeds. Since the Bloodline fibers have been put on, I'm shooting 28.5 inch draw length. I'm shooting it a little under 70 pounds, just a smidge under 70 pounds, 160 grain arrow, and I'm getting in the mid 290s pretty much all day long. That is, again, that's with the E2 cam setup, which extremely pleased with. It absolutely pounds. So one thing I did notice, I'm probably going to have to get some new targets because it is eating up targets and just poking right through. Luckily my tack vanes are holding up very nicely. In terms of accuracy, you would think that you're kind of going to give up some accuracy or forgiveness with the speed. So, you know, you've got a lower brace height, you've got what you would think is more of an aggressive cam, you've got limbs that are set up probably a little bit more aggressively. And I'll be the first to tell you that in terms of accuracy at 20 or 30 yards, it's absolutely nothing. You're shooting basically quarters or dimes all day long, but that's kind of like with any bow. So if you back it up 50, 60 plus yards, I am noticing, you know, basically shooting softballs, which is what I like in terms of hunting. It holds really, really well. Pretty much wherever I put the pin, it pops off and lands right there. You know, if I pull a shot, that's on me, but it's definitely not the bow. In terms of the only comparison, I guess, with another 33-inch bow is the V3X33, which I've been shooting for quite some time. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see what I think of that. I think it's a great bow. However, this bow, for whatever reason, just really fits in my hand nicely, holds nicely. And I love watching the air trajectory. Again, those speeds is just shooting darts 50 or 60 yards, hardly any arc to it. The rest, I will say, build quality, extremely impressed. The paint is held up very nicely. It's really nicely done. All the fittings, there's really nothing to complain about at all. All the tolerances I've been extremely impressed with, which I think translates over into how well the bow tunes. It was very easy. So basically I set this bow up twice because I changed strings. Once when I got it, just because I wanted to get out and shoot it, and then second, you know, obviously when I put on the new A3s, and both times, I mean, really hardly anything needed to be done other than just set the timing. I think on the first set of strings, I may have had to adjust the yokes a little bit, but these A3 strings were pretty much money from the get-go. From there, it was set center shot and go shoot. So from there, you'll kind of probably wonder, okay, well, what about the noise? I've heard PSEs are loud. Surely that thing shooting, you know, 250 plus feet per second is a loud bow. And I will say it is louder than my Matthews, but not so loud, especially when you're outside. Not so loud that it's alarming or, you know, off-putting at all. I was actually pretty surprised, you know, in terms of you know, how quiet it actually is. The other thing I will talk a little bit about is the draw and how smooth the draw is. I've seen some people say it's an aggressive, horrible draw. I do not understand that at all. Maybe depending if you come from a Hoyt to a PSE, but if you're a Matthews shooter, and I am, I've shot, I have currently both V3X, the 29 and 33, and I can tell you that the draw cycle on this is actually easier, smoother than my V3X 29 for sure. The 33 I think is probably on par, but they're a little different, and here's what I think. On the Matthews, whenever you go to pull back, the very beginning of the draw cycle, in my opinion, is stiff. And then once you get past the stiff, you're kind of over the hump. What they've done, I think, in terms of this E2 cam, I can't speak for the S2 cam, I haven't shot that, but the E2 cam is, we got an airplane, that's wonderful. Hopefully you can still hear me. The E2 cam, they basically take the hard part of the draw and spread it out over the length of the cam. So you will notice a lot easier than a Matthews off the bat, and then as you get back, you'll notice one little hump before it drops off, and then that's it. Again, very impressed with the draw cycle. I think it's pretty nice. So who is this for? Anybody really, but I can see somebody that has a shorter draw length, or someone that wants to shoot lighter weight but get more efficiency and speed. This bow is going to appeal to that group. Again, I'm shooting a 28.5-inch draw length, and in my opinion, it is a sweet spot. I think you probably could get more speed out of the S2 cam being at the top of the cam, but I'm kind of in the middle of the cam, or lower middle of the cam on the E2, and it's just smooth as butter, super easy to shoot. And again, I'm going to put it through its paces a bit more. I've shot it for a couple weeks now. I did go my antelope hunt last week, so I did not have a chance to really get into it and shoot it much more. However, spend some more time with it, maybe it goes to the elk woods with me. So thanks for tuning in. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, go follow me at, my name there is s.g.holmes. And as always, at YouTube, like and subscribe, helps out a lot. Thanks a lot.